Let's start with stages in Snowflake. So Snowflake Stages is the platform which helps loading and unloading data into tables. Basically, in very easy words, it's essentially a landing zone or a waiting room for your data files. So if I go to the Snowflake stage definition, it's saying Snowflake stages are locations where data files are stored, which helps in loading data into and unloading data out of the database tables. Okay, as I just told you, the stage locations could be internal or external to Snowflake environment. There are two types of stages. One is internal stage and second is external stage. And internal stage is internally within the Snowflake. External stage is outside of the Snowflake in other cloud vendors. So we can also access that and we can reference the stage in the tables. Now let's discuss more in depth about what are internal stages. So there are three types of internal stages. First is user stage, second is table stage, and third is named internal stage. If I talk about user stage, a user's stage is allocated to each user for storing files. To store files that are staged and managed by a single user but can be loaded into multiple tables. And user stages cannot be altered or dropped. This is very important. And this option is not appropriate if multiple users require access to the files. A single user can stage and manage the files, but multiple users cannot manage the same file which is staged by some other user. It can be used to load multiple tables. Let's try creating it an internal stages, starting obviously with the first type, that is user stage. In order to work with the internal stages, we will use SnowSQL, and for that we will go to Chrome and type NoSQL download. Here you can see there is an option to download the latest version either for Linux or Mac OS or Windows. My system is Windows, so I'm going to just hit on this button and it will start the downloading. So it's downloaded. I will go to the location and install it. Okay, my installation is finished. Now I will click to finish and I will quickly move to command prompt. And here I will first create the connection between the SnowSQL and my Snowflake account. So for that, I will say SnowSQL and my account identifier. I will go to my Snowflake and get the account identifier. In account details, I can see my account identifier. I will copy paste and then I will also paste my username. Okay, and I will hit run. Time to mention my password. Cool. As I had mentioned my password, I am able to log in into my Snowflake. Let's just try to run one script, show databases, to see if the connection is successfully established or not. See guys, so the connection is successfully established. I'm able to see my all the databases and all the information. Okay, and now I will configure some properties, like I will mention to use database, let's say company, and then use schema public. Perfect. Earlier it was showing my name with the warehouse and no database, no schema. With the use database and use schema, I am able to see my compute database and schema. Cool. Let me try to run a select query as well. Company dot public dot employees. Cool. See here, guys. I am able to see the data. I am able to access all the databases and all the schemas in my Snowflake. A pure proper connection between SnowSQL and Snowflake is established. Cool. Now it's time to understand the user stage. For that, I first need few dummy files, dummy CSV files download, and I will go here and I will download some random files. This one, this one, this one. Once I have the files, now I need to place the files. For that, I will use the command put file the. This is the location where I am having all my files which I just downloaded. And this is my symbol for user stage. Always remember that whenever there is a user stage, you need to mention @ following with this Asian symbol, and then you need to mention the stage name. I had written the script. Now I will just hit run. Cool. So it had read the data from my local disk, and it is showing couple of information like the source file name was titanic.csv. The target in Snowflake, it's stored as a Titanic CSV is gzip. So it had done the compression. The source size is 60,302 and the target size is 21,000 something. So it had compressed my data while loading into Snowflake, right? So the compression technique it followed is gzip. This is very, very cool feature. It automatically compressed the data and the status is uploaded. Now I have staged the data in the Snowflake. Now let me try to list it. See, my file is now staged. Let's load this file. I'm going to create the table inside the Snowflake where I will be loading this file. For that, I will write a DDL. Here is the DDL script I had written, and I will just hit enter. Cool. It had created the Titanic table inside my Snowflake. Now I will write the copy into command to load data from my user stage into Snowflake. For that, I will say copy into company dot public dot table name is Titanic from the user stage with the file format type CSV. Field delimiter is comma. Skip header 1 field optionally enclosed. This is the copy into command which I had written to populate to load data into company public Titanic table. And here the type of the file is CSV, the field delimiter is comma, and so I had mentioned comma. Skip header because the first column is the columns which I had already defined in DDL, so I don't need that. The field optionally enclosed by I had used because if you see this file in my notepad, you see that there are double quotes in this column, right? So this is the reason why I am using the field optionally enclosed. It ensures that all the double quotes also get removed and all the data don't get spill over to another column. Cool. I will hit the run button. As I had hit the run button, there was a typo error. So I fixed that. That's why you are seeing some failures. So I had hit the run button and I am able to see the data is loaded inside my table and the rows total parts are 891 and total rows are loaded are also 891. So let's now query the table and see whether the data is really loaded or not. See guys, so all the data is loaded into my Snowflake table. Let's one time also validate this from Snowflake. I will just run the select query in my Snowflake as well. I'm just going to copy paste the query and I'm just going to hit the run button. See guys, see, this is the magic. This is how you can load the user stage into Snowflake. Now let's move to the table stage. The symbol for table stage is @%. The table stage is available for each table created in Snowflake. Table stage have same name as the table. This is very important to note. For example, if the table name is my table, the stage referenced by that table should also be @modulus my table. Table stage are also used to store files that are managed and staged by one or more users but only loaded into a single table. In the users, a single user can load the same file into multiple tables, but in stage, one or more users can load the file into a single table. Tables also are like user stage which cannot be altered or dropped. And note that table stage is not a separate database object. Rather than it is an explicit stage tied to the table itself. Let's see that as well in action. I have a taxi.csv file which I am going to load into that table. So for that, I first need to create the DDL. Perfect. My table is created. Now I need to stage the file which I am having in my local storage so that I can copy the file data into my taxis table. For that, you already know that we need to use the put command. So I will write the same command here. Taxis.csv. This time I am going to create the table stage. So I need to mention @modulus. The table stage name should be same as my table name. So I will mention here as taxis. I will just hit run. Perfect. So I had staged the local file now. It again compressed the file. This is something which I really love about Snowflake. Whenever it is going to stage the file, it compressed the file and it stores a lot of my space. I had created the table. I had ran my script. My files are staged now. Let me have a quick view as well. List at the rate taxis. I'm having the file here, my file date, everything. Now I am going to use copy into command to load the data into my table. Perfect. I had loaded that file as well. This is how table stage works. In table stage, the differentiating is the symbol at the rate and modulus. In user stage, we need to use at the rate with the Asian sign. Now we had loaded the table. Now, as usual, we will also see this table as well. Select star from taxis, and we are able to see the data. Now let's again see this in Snowflake as well. Here I will just say taxis and hit the run button. See, I am able to see all the data which I was having in my local. This is pretty much about table stage. Third one is named internal stage. Name internal stage is a database object created in the Snowflake to store files that are staged or managed by one or more users and loaded into one or more table. And create stage using create stage command. Let's create that as well. I am going to create a stage name health exp. I will hit the run. Stage is created. Now I will create the table. Cool. I had written the DDL for table creation. Now I will click enter and table is also created. Again, like same way, we need to stage it and we need to use the put command so that my local files get into my Snowflake. I will use put file and my again the same location .csv. I had created a put script. Now I will hit run. Cool. This is also staged and data is now in my Snowflake. Now I am going to list it followed by copy into, and I am able to see my data. And now let's write copy into for that as well. I had written my copy into script. I will just hit enter and it will load the data into my Snowflake table. Cool. Everything is done and dusted. We had created the user stage, we had created the table stage, and we had also created the named stage. And you know the difference between user stage, table stage, and named stage. Now let's, as usual, we will also see the life expectancy table quickly. And cool, I'm able to see my data. Let's now move to external stage. External stage is an external cloud provider location where data files are stored, and loading data from any of the cloud provider is supported regardless of the platform that hosts your Snowflake account. External stage is a database object created in the schema. Okay. And this object stores the URL of the files in the cloud storage. Okay, it also stores the settings used to access the cloud storage accounts like storage integration object. A storage integration object is a specialized object that manages the authentication and trust relationships between Snowflake and your external cloud storage. Syntax for creating the external stage is create stage command, and this is the syntax. Let's see external stage as well in action. For that, I will first go to my S3. I need to create a S3 bucket if I am not having. I'm already having the S3 bucket, so I'm not creating it. Cool. And the second step is you need to create the IAM policy. That also I had already created. I will just show you that this is the IAM policy I had created, Snowflake S3 Access. And the third step is you need to create the IAM role as well. Okay, this role will be going to responsible to have the relationships between S3 and your Snowflake accounts. I had already created my roles. Okay, the fourth step is we will go to Snowflake now and we will build the handshake between S3 and Snowflake. For that, I just discussed with you that we need to have a storage integration. So we will create a storage integration, create storage integration. If not exist with the, let's say, S3 integration, Jaswinder, and the type of storage integration here is external stage. These are all the properties which are mandatory required to create the storage integration. Okay, and then it asks for storage provider name. So in my case, it's S3, and then it will ask for enabled. I will say it is enabled. Enabled is equal to true. And then I need to mention my storage AWS role ARN. This is the point which will ensure the connection is made. Okay, and I will pass my ARN number here. Then it ask for one more, which is storage allowed location. And I will mention my S3 path here. Cool. This is pretty much required to create the storage integration. I will just hit enter and run. Okay, I had ran. Now I am going to create the handshake. For that, I need to say describe integration and my as integration name. What I need from this is I need two properties. First one is this one, storage AWS IAM user ARN, and second one is this one, storage AWS external ID. So these two are required to me, and I will copy paste these values and I will go to my role. Let me show you. I will go to my role and I will go to trust relationships, and here I will add my ARN which I had copied from this one IAM user ARN, and I will similar way I will copy my external ID, this one GQ15001, and I will copy paste that here and I will update my trust script. In this way the handshake is completed, okay, which I had already done. And now once we had updated the trust relationships in AWS role, now we will create a stage. Okay, in order to create a stage we need to say create or replace stage followed by my stage name. Let's say my S3 stage Jaswinder, and then I will mention my storage integration. Storage integration is equal to, I will copy paste this S3 integration Jaswinder, and then I will mention URL on which I am having my files which I need to stage here. I had pasted my URL as well. Okay, now I'm going to run this query. Cool, I had ran the stage. Now let's list the data inside this stage which we just had created. Perfect. So we are able to see the files which we had placed in our S3 bucket. I had placed this Titanic file, if you see here, and now I am able to see that file inside my Snowflake as well. Cool. Now I am having all the files inside my Snowflake. I will again write the copy into command and I will load the data into the table. Okay. This is my stage. And then I will mention my how many files. If I have multiple files, but as of now I am having one file there, so I will mention that. Now I need to mention the file format. Type is CSV. Field delimiter. So I had mentioned every property which is required to load this file. Now I'm just going to hit run button. The table does not exist. Cool. Let me create the table quickly. Done. Now let's try again the copy into command. Perfect. It had loaded the data into my Titanic underscore backup table. Let's query the table. Perfect. Perfect. I'm able to see my data inside my Snowflake, which I had placed in my S3. So this is a kind of batch loading process by using copy into command.